Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4 with Black Ice. And of course, we're playing Finland, so we'll continue this. We've just second armistice at Compiègne. Don't know if we won the Winter War so much as survived the Winter War. And they're sending all of our troops that were in territory that we had to give up. And they're leaving Finland. The Soviets are, that is. I'm still not sure what we're going to do. Oh, let's see what, ease up conscription. Okay. Keep from having too much problems. Political power. Don't know if we want to do that. So we are doing Molotov cocktails now. I think maybe now that we're at peace is a time to experiment with this again to see if we can get this. We've already, not that we can't join the Axis, but we no longer can do it through the event chain. Grauji Click has capitulated, and I'm probably butchering that as well. Okay, that's an interesting question that Rick just proposed, the historical thing. That's when you're, okay, and we have field forces update, small army, okay. As you're loading it in. What that does is basically affects this thing that we're looking at. The historical, if you have the AI take the historical path, what it does is it follows, at least in the vanilla game, I'm not absolutely sure in the Black Ice game, but in the vanilla game, what it does is it has the AI follow the national focus tree in a generally historical path. So you can expect the wars, you know, declaring war on Norway and, you know, the Benelux countries and those kind of things in a generally historical time frame path. And so it won't, what it won't do in for like the, and I haven't but played it for the test thing, or, you know, dealing with it, it won't pick the path to say go with nationalists, you know, restore the Kaiser and all that in Germany. It won't do that. It won't, Britain won't take a fascist path or whatever. So it will follow a generally historical focus path. So yes, that's what it does. And it sort of, mostly, shall we say, it blocks out the really non-historical paths that the AI could do. As opposed to, because as we can see here, depending on world conditions, you know, being at war with somebody or somebody still existing, sometimes some of these things will not be researchable. So it will go to the next logical thing in its mind on the historical path. So you still, because if you do something unhistorical, I don't know, you befriend Poland instead of, yes, Germany, instead of declaring war on Poland, and they join with you. Okay, so that takes out some of the options the Allies can do. So it will go to its next logical thing. So if you know, you get my meaning. Okay, Molotov cocktails, good. Okay, so we're gonna save this right now. I know it isn't much time gone by, but we'll just give it a save. for those of you who didn't watch before, when we tried this Revive the Kalmar Union, Sweden accepted coming into it. I wasn't sure because it says union, and to an American, union means, well, it's also what basically Anschluss means, is unification. Well, when we did it, the Swedes joined us in an alliance. I thought when I originally went down the path, I thought they were going to get to actually unify and we'd take over Sweden, or in effect join the countries. But they came in, they accepted, and then within like a day or two, they left. Now, we did that very early on, and that may be the reasons. So we're going to, can you read? Okay, we'll check the naval battles. So we're going to try this out. So, okay, we lost 3 aircraft as we were going after 2 light cruisers, 2 battleships, 17 destroyers, and 24 submarines. That's why they just ripped through my few subs, and I never sent out my 2 cruisers because I knew they would be destroyed, but I thought the subs would actually do better. Okay, guys. Oh, no, you're up here. Stop. Okay, I figured you were down here. No, you can stay right where you're at. I might as well put you on trains. Where are you? Okay, you're down in the capital too. Cool. You're already moving that way. Where are you? You're down there as well. Okay, you're up here. Union of Crowns. Yeah, but don't know. He's saying that. I'm surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be in this day and age, but I'm surprised that most Swedes don't acknowledge their new queen. You did hear about they have a new queen in Sweden, don't you? It made the news, at least in some places. Yeah, we have a gap in the bunker line because we lost territory, so we're either going to rebuild bunkers. Where is this unit or something? Where is it? Oh. And so I guess the Swedes don't care about their new queen. I mean, she is young. So far, I haven't heard anybody spout off about it. So I guess you haven't heard about their new queen. Well, there is this, I think right about 10-year-old, maybe 12-year-old girl. And she was swimming in a lake in Sweden. And feeling around in the bottom of the lake. And she found a pre-Viking sword. And to me, that's clearly she's the new rightful queen of Sweden. You know, I mean, the current royal family is just pretenders now, in my mind. And, you know, she wasn't an archaeologist. She wasn't looking for a sword. Because, you know, if you dug it up in an archaeological thing, but this is pure random. She just feeling around in the bottom, looking for stones or something, and pulls up this very early, actually fairly nice shape, um, pre-Viking sword. And it wasn't like, I don't know if the Vikings do this, but the Celts, when they wanted to sacrifice to the gods, they would often sacrifice swords. And by sacrificing them, because they have a sword, I don't know if you guys really understand, a sword is a very high-tech item. Very few people can even make swords today. Most people, and I've seen a lot of stuff, you can buy swords. The things you buy in catalogs, those aren't swords. Those are big bloody knives. And most of the people that I see that are sword makers that make big long things are big long knives. But if you look at a real sword, it bends. It's it's flexible. It's much lighter. A sword from like 1820 and before. They're alive in the steel. It is a high tech, hard to develop thing compared to knife making. Well, go way back into the Dark Ages. A sword is an incredibly difficult thing to make. It's not just a piece of iron or forging it into steel that's certain length. It is. It's like buying a Ferrari today. How many of us can afford to buy a Ferrari and still eat and still live and whatever? Okay, well, only those people that could afford, could have a sword, could afford a Ferrari. Everybody else had axes, spears, other things that are relatively easy to make. Well, so swords are really expensive. So the Celts, when they wanted to, they did human sacrifices rarely. I mean, extremely rarely. But they sacrificed a lot to the gods. Well, they would normally throw them into the lake. But before they threw them into the lake, so no one would go fish them out, is they would take them and bend them often into like a sort of a complete loop, but at least bend the blade in half, so that the sword is useless, and you'd have to go through the whole process again of remaking it. So you would sacrifice it to the gods by bending it in half. Well, this sword wasn't bent in half. And so it was put into the lake at some point. And this little girl finds it. So my mind, she's the queen of Sweden. Now, that doesn't mean, you shouldn't still have a parliament and elections and all that stuff. But she's the rightful queen, especially when you know the current Swedish royal family is just descendants of Marshal Bernadette from the French Empire, because it's not even the old Swedish family. It's a French field marshal that Sweden, when they didn't have a king, offered it to Marshal Bernadette, and that's the current one. So yeah, I think she's the current queen of Sweden. Yeah, she's young, but yeah. Now, of course, I'm a Anglo-Saxon Celt, so that's how we pick our kings and queens if no other way is going on. Okay, we've got that. Yeah, we'll research that. Okay, now these guys up here. Well, now we more or less have the forces to hold the border. Maybe not enough strength. I know I have a lot of Swedish viewers. I wonder what they think of this. Do they not acknowledge her as queen? So yes, if you're watching later on YouTube, you Swedes out there, what's your thoughts on this? Do you not acknowledge her as the rightful queen of Sweden? Okay, we need to motivate more people into the army. Uh-oh. We don't have we have units that we need to deploy. Oh, we probably lost the location. It was probably now in occupied territory. We'll put them here. No. Oh, there we go. Now, more people to join the army, yes. Because we're out again. Now, what's going on in the rest? Just sort of mostly peaceful, except for out here. Of course, we no longer have the ability to get Denmark and Norway into the Kalmar Union, so this may not be a good idea. But I'm thinking at the right moment we might declare war on the Axis and take back Norway and Denmark after they're at war with the Soviets and whatnot. That's what I'm thinking, at least. If we can get... Okay, pause. Okay, we're one step closer to rebuilding the Kalmar Union, revive it, a sign of your rising European tensions. Okay. Seeking to form a united front against common enemies, Republic of Finland has reached out to Sweden in an offer to reform the Kalmar Union to unite against common enemies while offering a place for the defensive pact. The British Prime Minister made it clear that Britain does not consider the alliance beneficial to the protection of European liberty. Finland has nevertheless established diplomatic ties with our nation. Okay. So, we've got them in for now. Will they stay this time? Wow, look at all the German forces up here. That may be making them want to stay more. That means we also have to see about guarding up there. So, let's send these light infantry up to here. And they left the faction. Okay, well, we're going to go back to the save because there's no point in doing that. If they're just going to leave. So I would call that whole thing broken. Black Ice people. You know, either have Sweden reject it and allow, because what happens, the problem is, if we do that, we can't join the allies. I'm cool with the idea it's one or the other, but either let us have this or join the Allies. Well, I'm not going to join the Allies yet because we just saw all the German units sitting up here on the Norwegian border. What I'm looking at doing is waiting for the Soviets and the Germans to go to war. Yes, Rick. You can in Hearts of Iron 4. Don't even try it in Hearts of Iron 3. You can sort of technically do it, but always restart in Hearts of Iron 3. You don't have to restart in 4. You can load from a save. But so we're going to wait to join the Allies for, like I was saying, the Soviets and the Germans to go to war. And then we're going to see if we can retake some territory here. Is this impassable here? I'm guessing. I don't know that really should be, but I mean, some of this should be. I totally agree with that. But okay, so what do we want to do now? We could do secret weapons, which is probably, that might be okay. Aviation effort, but we did the second Mannerheim line, but now they've got most of those forts, so they would be nice to have another defensive line option. Maybe it's in here. Not really. Establish Greater Finland. See, if I knew that this wouldn't have worked, I would have tried to go down this path here. But can't do that without going way back and starting all over again. Limited motorization, not so useful. Paratroopers, some air bases, and an air doctrine bonus. I guess we'll do that. Wow. Oh, that's right. We reloaded the save. Forgot. That's right. Forgot I even reloaded. Might as well put you on trains. Okay, advanced machine tools, and we decided that we were going to do this. We have so few factories here. We're already building a... Or we're still building a... bunker here. Yeah, and we're motivating, inspiring the people here. Oh no, we're not. We're building a bunker down here. Right? Yeah. That's where we're building a bunker. Yeah. That's good. Hold our capital. Well, that's right. We have to give them a location because our previous location is now in Soviet territory. Okay, so that eats up all of our manpower. Yes, more people to join the army. And they're training. Well, let's speed this up even more. Republic of China has capitulated, so Japan is pushing very hard and very well in Asia. All these were our transports that were getting sunk by the Soviets, which we no longer have any transports, which does mean we should probably build some more. Let's just complete that one and then we'll switch over to aviation effort. Okay, very good. Rocket effort, that seems stupid. Nav air, that would be alright, but we don't hardly have the building for this. Flying latas. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so we've gotten aviation. No, not this. I want this. There we go. Okay, so we've gotten down here this. So what do we still need to do to get a infantry tank artillery coordination, which I think we're actually researching right now. Okay. Well, let's do creeping barrage. Oh yeah, it's easier to build in the Navy. What is happening down here? Think this is... I'm not sure what the hell this is. Rebel held, probably. We have no diplomatic relations with them, because I don't think those are German held. Yeah. The state owner. Colony state. I think these are rebels of some sort. Okay, so we've gotten that. So now we're going to produce transport ships. And we need more oil, but can we trade with anybody for oil? Yeah, or with the Free States. Okay. Django warned me about this, but I didn't know what his timing was, because he said tomorrow they were going to update things, and I thought that meant my Sunday. Okay, what I think has happened here is they've updated since, because notice this is the Free States, not United States, and so something's gone radically wrong here. Well, guys, what's happened is they've updated. Now I saved off the important things. So if you want to hang out for a few minutes, I can get things set up right so that I can continue the game, because I moved this stuff off, but it's going to take me a few minutes to get this stuff set up. So if you want to wait around, I guess is about the only thing. I can say here. Because what I did do is I did, no, which one is it? I did save out. Thought I did. Sure I did. You're not seeing what's going on here. Oh, that's right. I always have trouble. Where are my files located? I actually have such trouble finding things. There's three sort of possibilities of where you can have the. I know this is all sort of technical here, but three sort of possibilities of where you can have your game files for your downloads saved for mods to Hearts of Iron. And I actually, because I have trouble finding it, I actually wrote a text file, if I can find it here, telling me where they're located. I just got to find the text file. What did I call it? Where Steam Workshop files are. That's what I called it. Okay, program, Steam apps. There we go. Okay. That's why we're not seeing it. Okay. I got to get to the right drive. Files. Steam apps. Workshop. Content. There we are. Okay. Let's see. Basically what I'm doing now is extracting the zip file, and it's still extracting, and we are 21% done. So I'm going to extract the zip file, and then I'm going to look and see if I need to either just rename or make another file that points to it to have a different version of Black Ice. Who knows, that may even fix the Kelmar thing, but probably not. Well, those watching later on YouTube, we're going to be ending this episode here. You get to see this messing around. The real value is the Kelmar Union thing isn't seeming to work. So we're stopping the YouTube, not the Twitch. You guys just hang out. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.